How's everybody doing today? My name is Jordan, better known as Jay Fries. I'd like to thank y'all for coming out and watching me play some Runeterra today. So, Runeterra is another digital card game. The best way I've heard explained is it's kind of like a mixture between Magic and Arena. It kind of takes the best of both worlds and combines it together, throws in some of their own mechanics, and it's really fun. I really have been enjoying playing it. This has been my first video up on my channel of this, and I'm by no means a amazing player. Like I said, I'm still trying to learn how everything goes and how everything works and strategies, this and the other. But it's really fun. I've been really enjoying it. So let's go ahead and switch over. Well, here we are. A new set just released. And let's go over here. Alright. So, Runeterra. There are 8 different regions. They're kind of like the colors in Magic. You can pick 1 or 2 of them, and that's what your deck consists of. You have these powerful cards like you see up here. These are called champions. Your deck can only have 6 champions altogether. So usually people will pick 2 champions, and they have 3 of each, or 3 copies of each champion. The deck we're playing today is a control deck, and it's playing the regions Targon, which is the new one that just came out, and Fairy Lord. And pretty much it just has a ton of healing, and the entire game is just to last. So yeah, let's go on and get into it. Play a couple games. So try to explain it along as I go. It is kind of like Magic in that you both take turns. But the thing that makes it interesting is, alright, what if one's playing? Alright, so this looks to be an aggressive deck. So look at this. I'm gonna keep this card because it's a ramp card. And it kind of ramped me into my next one. So the way it works is that both you and your opponent take turns together. So every turn you untap all your mana. If you look, it kind of has like the gems, kind of like Hearthstone. And both you and your opponent play stuff on every turn. You get all your mana back every turn. And the main difference is you see this little token, how he had like the little sword. That's the attack token. So whoever has the attack token gets to attack for that turn. So like right now, I'm gonna go ahead and play this. And you notice every turn I get an additional mana that I can play stuff out. But you got these little guys down here as well. That's your spell mana. If you have any unspent mana after your turn, it gets converted up to spell mana. You can have up to 3 and spell mana, and it kind of is like a neat little way of allowing you to catch back up if you don't have anything to play the first couple turns. So see, I actually have 3 mana, but I have 3 spell mana, so I can play this 5 costing spell, and the spell heals me, gets me an extra mana. Yeah.
Skipping's faster. Guess we're going. Or don't get too close.
I'm gonna go ahead and just take the damage this round. It's a lot of damage, but I think just getting my guy down is the important thing. So, in like Magic, I choose who to attack with, my opponent chooses how to block. There are certain things that can adjust that format. Like, you see this little hook this guy has here? That's called the Challenger ability, which means whenever he attacks, he gets to pick who blocks him. Alright, so I can play another creature. Probably the best thing to do, just get out another blocker. See what my opponent does. See if they do anything.
Strength and grace, beauty in the blade.
Okay. What are they? I think I'll go ahead and pass here. We're just gonna play defeat, or oh, excuse me. Just gonna play defense. Why they target their own guy? What does that spell do with this? Oh, alright. Well, since they're out of mana, then go ahead and tackle both these guys. Alright, and so my guy here has an ability that whenever he attacks, he gets to deal 1 damage to everything that's battling. Thankfully, my dude over here has an ability called Regeneration, which means at the end of the turn, he heals all of his damage. That is one aspect that's kind of like Hearthstone, is damage stays on creatures.
Or the path with the talking lilies.
So nice. I think this would probably be the best bet to do. So this spell deals 2 damage to everything.
I'm actually here.
I think I'm just gonna wait. Okay. That is perfectly fine. Okay, can I go back real quick, explain what all that was?
With me.
Nice. So, Trundle here was one of my champions. And so he has ability, when he comes into play, I get to put an ice pillar in my hand, which you saw this card here. And then they always have an ability that levels them up. The champions do anyway. And when they level up, they turn into a bigger version that usually has something else about them that makes them really mean.
Come on, come on.
So, attack with Trundle. And probably going to attack with this guy as well.
Get ready for a beatdown.
You see, he gets +3 attack for each 8 costing thing that I behold. A behold is either something in my hand or in play. And that's the way he wants to do it. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
What could have been?
No more slurs.
let's go ahead and save my guy here. So this is a healing spell. It heals my guy, and it gives me an additional celestial card. Let's see, 6, 7, 8. So I have 9. So I can play this guy next turn. Probably what I'm going to do. All right. And yeah, let's go and play out another blocker here. So more than likely, unless my opponent just has something crazy here, this is gonna probably be game.
The quiet of the woods. There's nothing like it.
Alright, so this card right here, you see, has an ability called Daybreak. So that means if it's the first card I play in a turn... Oh, okay. If it's the first card I play in a turn...
You should be honored.
Alright. Tell you what, let me go back real quick. Kind of go through what all the deck does. Maybe I should have done that beforehand. So, a new ability that they just brought out is this Invoke ability. So, there are certain cards that say that you invoke something. Invoke lets you get cards from a particular pool of celestial cards. Now, these celestial cards, you cannot collect them. They can only be generated through these cards that invoke things. So, like Spacey Sketcher here says, when you player, discard a card to invoke a celestial that costs 3 or less. And let me see. Alright, so see, these are all the celestial cards here. See, they range from 0 all the way up to 10 costing cards. So, like, the Spacey Sketcher says, you know, get a 3 or less costing card. So, it would give you an option of 3 of these cards here that you get to pick from and put into your hand. Alright, then, Troll Chant, just a good combat trick. Hush is a very good card. You just get to silence a unit, which means you take away all abilities, good or bad. And it creates a fleeting Hush in your hand, which fleeting just means it's a card that lasts for 1 turn. If you don't play that turn, it's gone. 1 Kindly Tavern Keeper, just to kind of heal your Nexus. So your Nexus is your life, is what it is. So you can either heal a ally or your Nexus for 3. Weirding Stones is just a mana generator. It gives you an extra mana every round. Avalanche. It's a 4 cost, deal 2 damage to every unit, even my own. But a lot of my units are either big enough that it doesn't matter, or they have regenerate, so I can just regenerate the damage back. Troll Ravager, for a good example. It's a 3/5 for 4, and it says whenever it's summoned, if you behold an 8 costing card, grant it regeneration. So as I was saying earlier, behold is just an ability that means it's either in play or it's in your hand. So if you have a 8 costing card in play or that's in your hand, he gets regeneration when you play him. Catalyst of Aeons is a ramp and healing spells. This is a very good card right here. You get an empty mana gem and you get to heal your Nexus for 3. And so it's really nice because with Weirding Stones and Catalyst of Aeons, you have 6 ways to jump from turn 3 to turn 5, and you can start getting out your Tarkaz and your Trundles, things like that. So, Star Shaping, another bit of healing. It says invoke a Celestial that costs 7 or more, and then heal an ally or your Nexus for 5. Now, you also noticed that they have different things here. This pretty much is just the speed that you can cast the spell at. So burst is the fastest, then you have fast, and then you have slow. So if you play magic, let me find it here. Slow is kind of like sorcery speed spells. I don't know if I have any fast spells in here. So yeah, slow is kind of sorcery speed spells. You can only play it on your turn when you have priority. Fast is you can play it at any point whenever you have priority. And burst is you can play it and you keep priority. So you play it, it resolves, and then you can do something else in addition to that. So like I was saying earlier, the deck has, you know, healing, 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 and then even more healing. So it can just last and last and last. Another card is Tarkaz the Tribeless. Just a 5/8 for 5. It's huge unit. And whenever he attacks, he deals 1 damage to everything that's battling. And mainly, like I said, it's just a big unit, kind of big roadblock in the way. Trundle, he's one of our champions, as I was showing you earlier. He's a 4/6 for 5. He has regeneration, so whenever he takes damage at the end of the round, he heals all the way back up. And it says when he's summoned, you create an ice pillar in your hand. And then to level him up, he has to see you play that ice pillar. So here's the ice pillar. It's a 8 costing 0/8 card. It says when you play it, you get to refill 8 mana, so you pretty much play it for free. Whenever you play it, and at the start of each round, you get to give the strongest enemy vulnerable. So vulnerable, it's kind of like the opposite of challenger, as I explained earlier. Vulnerable makes it to where you get to pick how that unit blocks. So you give your opponent's creatures vulnerable, you attack, you get to choose where the vulnerable creature blocks. So it's a really cool way to kind of, you know, control the battlefield. Now, whenever you play Ice Pillar, he levels up to this Trundle, which has regeneration and overwhelm. Once again, if you play magic, overwhelm is kind of like trample. So it just deals whatever it needs to kill the creature off, and then any excess damage is dealt directly to your opponent. And it says whenever he attacks, he gets +1 attack for each 8 costing card that you behold. So once again, that's everything in your hand or in play. He gets +1 attack. Now, a neat thing that this deck has, or this game has, is you can only have 1 of each champion in play. So they're kind of like the legendary creatures in Magic. So to kind of help make it to where your hand doesn't get clogged up with extra Trundles, things like that. If you play a Trundle, or you draw 1 while 1 is in play, any Trundles that are in your hand gets turned into a spell that you can cast. So this is Trundle's Icequake. Actually, I also have this card in the deck as well, just the regular version. So 8 costing, it's slow, so it's only sorcerer speed. Give all units -3 this round, and deal 3 damage to all units. Shuffle a Trundle back into your deck. So it's kind of a neat way to mitigate the legendary aspect of these champions. And it's something I think is really, really cool. I like that ability a lot. Sunburst, just deals 6 damage to a unit. And Daybreak, I was trying to explain earlier. Daybreak is, if this is the first card that you play during the turn, it does something else. So this particular card says, deal 6 damage to a unit. Daybreak, instead, you get to silence that unit, and then deal 6 damage to it. So silence is just, you strip away all abilities, all buffs, all negatives, and it's just a vanilla creature with whatever its stats are. So this is very good at just like taking out units, especially ones your opponent's buffed and it's kind of hard to get rid of them. This just drops them back down to their base stats, and then you deal the 6 damage. It's amazing. Revitalizing Roar, as I was saying, more heal. 7 mana, it's slow, says pick a unit in your hand to reveal, heal your Nexus by its power, and then Enlightened. Enlightened means if you have 7 mana gems, so your gems are completely full, you get to reduce the cost of the creature that you reveal to 0. So this is really nice, especially when you have like these giant units over here. So you just get to heal your Nexus for a ton. And then these big guys, if it's later in the game, they cost you 0. Here's the regular version of Icequake. 8 mana, give all units -3 attack, and deal 3 damage to all units. So like I said, most of my guys are so large that either they don't care or they regenerate, so they're going to get that health back anyway. Then, it's a very good card here. I've been really surprised by it. The Infinite Mind Splitter. Something they introduced in the last set as well were these dragon cards. And all the dragon cards are just very, very strong. This particular guy is at 8/8 for 8. And he has the ability Fury, which means whenever he deals damage, whenever he kills something, he gets +1/+1 permanently. So all the dragons have that ability. And then the additional, it says whenever you play him, you get to pick 2 enemies. And then at the start of each round, you stun those 2 enemies. So he just permanently takes 2 creatures and just puts them out of the game. And also, he's just a huge creature as an 8/8 in general. So just a really good card. And then at the very top end, I have Aurelian Sol. Now this guy is another dragon. He's our other champion. Let me go and pull him up here. So he has Fury. Says whenever he kills a unit, he gets +1/+1. And then he has this really cool ability called Spell Shield. And I really like this ability. And what it says is negates the next enemy spell or skill that would affect him. So the first time, so pretty much he has a shield, your opponent has to target it with something to get rid of the shield. And then they can start casting spells onto him or using abilities. So this guy, it's a 10/10 for 10. It says when you play him, evoke a celestial that costs 7 or more. So remember, invoke, you get to look at 3 cards of whatever pool that's pulling from, and you get to pick one of those 3 cards to put in your hand. And then at the start of each round, you get to create a random celestial in your hand. And then he levels up at the end of the round if you have 20 or more power on the board. He levels up, and he turns into an 11/11. +1 is not really going to matter that much. He has the same ability. If you play him, you get to invoke a celestial cost 7 or more. At the start of the round, you get to create a random celestial in your hand. But what really turns it awesome is that your celestials now cost 0. So all these giant creatures, all these giant spells, they're free as long as he's in play. And then if you have one of them in your hand and you have a Sol in play, the extra ones in your hand turns into this guy. Aurelian Sol's The Sky Descends. I don't really get to play it a whole lot. As you can see, it's extremely expensive. It says deal 15 damage to all enemies. It costs 2 less for each dragon or celestial you have in play. And then this one you get to shuffle a Sol back into your deck. So that's pretty much the deck. As I was saying, it's board wipe, stall, heal, and then just start dropping giant fatties late in the game. And because of all your invoke cards, you really get to start just hammering down your opponent later on, because you won't run out of gas. Alright, so my opponent here is playing a Nocturne and a Diana deck. So this is usually some type of really aggressive deck. This is actually a really good hand, because I get board wipe, healing, and ramp. I'm gonna keep this. I said the first 2 turns I'm gonna be completely defenseless because I can't cast anything until turn 3.
Only a fool would enter battle unprepared. It's our time!
Alright, here's one of the few early drops I have in this deck. So, let's go ahead and play it out. Getting rid of this Icequake. probably just gonna go ahead and take the charter.
Here's where I'd paint my constellation.
Temperamental as moonlight. Mother Moon veiled.
Probably just wait. Just leave this guy back to block something. Maybe that was wrong. Maybe I should have attacked.
Hold still.
Go ahead and play my wording stones. So next turn I get ramped up to 5 mana.
Night flowers upon the blade.
Yeah, that's fine. Just gonna kill my guy. They're gonna generate a card. That's alright, my guy was probably gonna die this turn anyway. Oof, I got a bunch of these cards. I'm gonna go ahead and pass here. See what my opponent does. If they put any more on the board.
Their scent travels on the night air.
So my opponent is playing a Nightfall deck. Okay, so I could do an Avalanche. Or I could wait. Because Avalanche really doesn't do a whole lot here. And I could Ice Quake on my opponent's turn. I think that's what I'm going to do. Alright, go ahead and take it here. And then... I could Ice Quake, or I could wait and do it on my turn again. Maybe this turn just use this to heal. See if they can get something else on their board. Or maybe I should just start clearing stuff out. That's probably what I should do. I have all these board wipes in my hand. I should probably start using them. Okay. So he's going to save his guy, give him additional toughness. That's fine. Hopefully he plays something that has 2 or less health. That doesn't have 2 or less health. Alright, so 6. 7. So I could just sunburst that guy down. See my opponent puts anything else on the board here. Might not have been the right choice to pass. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to do this now. Destroy one of these guys.
Find your path in the dark and follow no false light.
A new moon rising.
And sleep descends on feeble minds. Terror is my domain.
Looks like they're gonna just get this before I can stabilize. So 14, this will heal me up. I guess Immortal Fire, just to get something I can actually play. Another weirding stone. That might have actually been the wrong move. I think I'm just gonna double avalanche this turn. Alright, see if they have something else to protect their guy.
Arise in our time of need.
Unfortunately.
Gems are superb. Bad for the teeth, though. All unbelievers will see the light.
Just had a little bit more healing. I could have did this one.
Go, floaty crystal.
Well. I might just hang on here. Go ahead and end the round. These two guys are now stunned, which means they can't attack or block.
Mother Moon, guide me.
Right. Heal my Nexus up.
Ill met by moonlight.
You small, me big.
The full moon awakens the soul.
He has another Nightfall.
Night descends.
Okay.
I will be heard.
Come back next.
I might just be able to grind my way back into this game.
Unseen, unheard, the moon conceals you from our foes.
It's only 4, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Heals my Nexus for 4. Give me a little more breathing room. And it makes my Trundle cost 0.
No more lies. Face your heretic.
Well, nothing I can do here.
Sisters.
I came to fight. Yes, serve your king.
not think I was gonna win that one.
You can't take this crown.
Yeah, I thought for sure that it was gonna get me. Nice. So you can see the deck just has a ton of sustainability. Just life gain, life gain, life gain, board wipes, drop giant creatures, and just hold on, and then eventually whenever I overwhelm the board with my bigger creatures, just stomp on through. That's one thing I like about this deck, is this deck has the inevitability. It's like, if we go long, this deck is going to win. It's just I have to get the game to go long. Ooh, this is going to be a long one. Facing the mirror match. So, as I said, I'm not very familiar with this, but these two cards right here are some of the best that you're going to have in this deck. So, I think I'm going to shuffle these two away, just looking for some of my bigger things. Alright, Sunburst is a pretty good card. I can see these first couple turns just passing by with no play. Oh. So they kept the Spacey Sketcher. That's interesting.
And here's where I'd paint my constellation.
I could go ahead and play my own. Maybe getting rid of this Revitalizing Roar. I don't think this Roar is going to be very helpful. I think getting an elusive unit out of here
Is another spark.
might be pretty good.
This. Can I paint you? Ow, 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 ow.
Alright, go ahead and get my Weirding Stones out here.
Spilled paint is just accidental art.
So my opponent is keeping a lot of their early cards, which doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Feelings.
You small or me big?
I think whoever can ramp the fastest is going to win this one. So, I could just open with attacks here. Yeah, I think I like that one.
Hold still.
So his ability is going to go ahead and deal damage to her before they even hurt each other. So he still only takes 1 damage off that exchange. What's my opponent going to do here?
The trolls are going to war!
Okay. So yeah, this is a good time to go ahead and Sunburst. Opponent's digging for something big here. So usually, the way I see these mirror matches go is whoever gets their bigger cards online faster. That's why I was really kind of sticking with these ramp cards. Good thing I want to pick this elusive card. So, go ahead and do this. Heal me back up. Get me another mana crystal. Don't know if that's right. Maybe I should have kept it to discard to the Sketcher. Oh, look, I got another one, so it doesn't really matter. So,
Time to smash.
we're just gonna open with attacks, maybe. See, I'm not getting... I got the Infinite Mind Splayer, but other than that, I really don't have anything. My opponent drops something big here. If not, then I'll just play the Kindly Innkeeper, healing up my guy.
Leave your bags at the door.
Yep. So we should have waited on that one then. Go ahead and play the Spacey Sketcher, discarding this, see if I can find anything. Stunning 2 enemies might be really good later on in the game. Another Spacey Sketcher. Ugh. Where's my big stuff? I had my ramp and I just... Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do that. I don't need my stone anymore because I'm going to be at 10 mana. It's done its job. If I lose this one, it's going to end up being because I just haven't found my big stuff fast enough. So my dragon's gonna stun their dragon and their otter. Open up on attacks here. I guess we're going to end the turn. Oh man, how deep am I in my deck? Almost halfway through my deck. Oof, I haven't got any of my big stuff.
Hello, Runeterra. Let's rock.
So, let's play her out. Getting rid of this. Try to find... Perfect.
Spilled paint is just accidental art.
To the stars.
Oh, you're interesting.
do this to go ahead and break his spell shield.
I'm the forger of stars. I do love an audience.
See, the issue is that if I stun this, he can just play another creature. But he has to have something. Alright, play to see if he's got anything. He got a full hand, he's got to have something. What do you got there, opponent? Yeah, that's gonna be game. Dude, just able to get his bigger stuff faster. Let's try one more. If I could have got my bigger stuff out, I think I could have definitely have had that game. Alright. I'm not for sure what my opponent's deck is. I know for sure I do not. Well, maybe I want a 10 drop for my Troll Ravager. I'm gonna go 3 into 4. So I might not want him. Yeah, let's keep the Troll Ravager. Get rid of the Saw. Spacey Sketcher. I don't think I want to. Do I want to do that? Maybe get rid of Starbursting. Maybe get rid of the Troll. Maybe they get rid of the Troll. The Trickster.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty sparkle fly. Paint your feelings.
Alright, I'm winning. 19 and 20.
Come, the journey ahead is long. Do not fear death.
Just gonna take the 2. I'll let my opponent go here. See if they're gonna play something or wait. They're thinking.
I will light behold.
second Soul Shepherd. So now all their ethereal cards are gonna get +2/+2. So ethereal is a
Silence. Death comes.
gonna block and save some damage.
Hold still!
I don't think so. Play Trundle. What my opponent could have here?
It's playtime.
Other ally dies, deal 1 damage to the enemy nexus. Ugh. Okay. That's not gonna be fun. Okay, so I'm gonna open with attacks. I think I'm gonna go Weirding Stones into Trickster. So next turn, I can drop the Ice Pillar. Maybe I shouldn't have played the Trickster. Maybe I should have waited. Made my opponent waste their 5 mana. That was probably the better play. This guy. Well, I don't like that. Do you have something you can do to it? Since it's an ethereal or ethereal. Okay.
You're gonna be sorry.
That's fine. And here's something interesting. I could Ice Pillar into Icequake, and it would destroy his whole board. I'll be able to take out my Sketcher, the Trickster, and make my stones almost dead. So yeah, I think this would be a good time to do this. See if they have anything to save any of their guys. But even if they do, the good thing is this also gives all their creatures -3 attack. This guy right here is going to deal me quite a bit of damage this turn, though.
Buried alive!
Oh, it doesn't. I thought it was like magic in that he saw all of them die. But apparently that's not how it works. That's awesome. I'm in a pretty good position. What does this guy do? Grants an alien hit and reduces cost by 1. Okay. Not bad. And now Trundle here. He's going to heal all the way back up, get all of his power back. My opponent's playing anything else out here. And with Ice Pillar, given his strongest thing. Okay. What does she got, opponent? I am all tapped out. Completely at your mercy. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Think.
Nothing's tougher than a troll.
Block like this. That's fine.
Man overboard.
That's okay. My opponent has nothing in their hand. I still have an Ice Pillar, and so I got some play here. Karlak.
So many tinies. Now we have fun. Sure is dark, eh?
Okay, that's fine.
We shall pierce their treasonous hearts.
Of all the cards to draw, that's a pretty good one. Go ahead and discard my Weirding Stones here. I don't need it. Probably just the Trickster. Just play more to the board.
It's all in the wrist, see?
The guilty will suffer.
Alright. E is gonna block. She's gonna block there. And then give my guy extra health. Give your guy minus on his attack. Go ahead and pick the Trickster out here. Heal myself. And go ahead and get the Destroyer. This guy's gonna get vulnerable. go. So that's probably where I end it there. So the deck, I absolutely love it. As you saw, the only thing I lost to was the mirror match, and even then, I think I could have won if I would have drawn my bigger impact cards. The game Runeterra, I really like it. It's kind of taking the best parts of Magic and the best parts of Hearthstone, put them together. Like I said, it kind of has their own little twist with the spell mana. Honestly, the biggest downside to this game currently is just the card pool, and they will eventually get up there. You know, Magic has had 20 plus years to build their card pool up, and Hearthstone's had quite a while. But as far as games to get into, like, this game is extremely easy to get into. It has a very good free to play. And even if you want to go in and you want to buy the cards, like, it has an amazing way to do that, instead of kind of like the predatory ways that Magic and Hearthstone does, you know, where you got to keep buying stuff and buying cards and hopefully you pull what you want. You know, in Hearthstone, you got to buy and, you know, dust your old cards to make the new ones. This one, I like it because you can just straight up buy the cards that you want. You know, you can spend $3 to get a champion, and that's the most expensive card there is. And you can only have 6 in a single deck. So the very most for those is $18. And then the rest of the deck maybe cost $12. So you can get a tier 1 deck in this game for $30. And that's probably the cheapest of any game that I know of. I mean, no, Magic just on Arena is like 100, 150 to get a tier 1 deck. And even then, you're not really guaranteed. This game is just very fun. It's very easy to get into. And honestly, the more I play it, the more I'm liking it. So if you guys haven't tried it, go ahead and pick it up. It's across multiple platforms. It's on mobile, PC, you know, anything else you can think of like that. It's very fun. So thank you all for coming out. Hope you had a good time, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.